Hi folks, Speedway Tag here. I want to show you a delightful little solo game called Cursed, designed by Jacob Haydel and available through the Game Crafter, and it's published by Goblin Hour Games. It's in this beautiful little tin. I love tins. Open it up and you can see the cards are sitting there in the tin. There's about 30 odd cards. And this is the theme. The theme is you've been cursed by a witch and you are quickly dying and everything you touch turns to ash. She promises to lift the curse if you go into the nearby forest and capture 8 monsters' soul for her ritual. And so you've got to race against time to save yourself. It's push your luck. It's a solo little micro quest. And it says on the back of the box, 3 to 6 minutes, and actually that's absolutely true. Can you actually have fun playing a game that lasts for 3 minutes? Well, I'm going to show you. Well, here it is. We just take the deck out of the tin. Tin's over here, and just put the deck in the middle of the table. Again, I love games that do that. Just put the deck in the middle of the table, draw a card, and start playing. You don't have to worry about hands of cards or AIs or anything like that. It's just put the deck in the middle and start playing. Just like Decula. Love that. Typical Game Crafter style. The cards are really good quality. They got beautiful artwork on the back of them. And it's... so that's what we do. That's how we start. And the first thing you do is turn over the first card. And first thing you'll see on these cards are that there are 3 sections to each one of them. You've got the monster section, which is here, right there. And then you've got the weapon section, which is right there. And then upside down is the item section. All right, so the first thing to get started is you take the top card and you will use that as an item in your game. And so the item there is a whetstone and it adds 3 damage to a single weapon. You'll see what that means in a moment. Put the items to the side there, and then this is how we play. I think they've designed this beautifully for a quick little solo game that, surprisingly, even though it's only 3 to 6 minutes, it's very thematic and it flows really well. The cards really make sense with each other. And we'll see how we go. So what you're doing here, remember you're trying to capture 8 monsters, 8 monsters' souls. The first thing you do will be turn over the top card and put it in the middle of the table, and that's your first monster that you are going up against. So when you do that, when you flip a card to see what monster you're going up against, this is part of the card is what you're looking at. Forget about these other 2 bits. Okay, so you're going up against this bat creature. And the first thing you're going to notice on this card is its number in the top right-hand corner, 7. And if it's got an ability, and it's got an ability of flying, and it says first melee attack deals no damage. And we'll see what that means. Okay, now there's been a lot of videos on Cursed. It's been around for just maybe a year or 2, maybe less. You can still get it on the Game Crafter. So yeah, you may have already seen this game, but I just wanted to add my 2 cents worth of opinion to this game. So flip over the first monster. That's what we're going for. Now, how do we go against that monster to try and capture its soul? Well, we do that by pushing our luck. We draw a card from the deck. We have a look at, this time, now we look at this section of the card, which is the weapon section. Okay, and you notice each weapon has also got a number, and it's got a little icon determining whether it's a melee attack or a range attack. That's saying it's a melee attack. And that's relevant because this creature, remember, says the first melee attack deals no damage. I've drawn a melee attack, so this number is actually worth 0 at the moment. So, okay, so we got through his ability. So only the first melee attack doesn't count. The next one we draw, there we go, that's a range attack. But now we're just looking at the numbers. This is a numbers game now. And it's like blackjack, okay? To kill the creature, we got to get as close to 7 as possible because that's the creature's health. At the moment, our short bow deals 2. And you've got this fabulous little decision, okay? The decision is, am I going to draw another card and try and get closer? And of course I am. So I'm going to draw another card, and this time it's a great sword. And it's a melee attack, and it's worth 5. 5 plus 2 is exactly 7, right? So that's the best result you can get in this game by actually equaling the creature's health. So 7, we got as close as we could, as possible, without going over. So what happens there is we get that creature, and these get put into the discard pile, and we draw another creature. Okay, this time it's this lizard guy. He's got an evasive ability. The first even value weapon attack deals no damage. Okay, so the first even number does not count. So here we go again. We start drawing. Okay, that's a 1 or a 6 we can use those throwing daggers as. So that's the 6 would mean it would count as 0. The 1 would be 1. Because remember, the first even number attack doesn't count. Let's take this as a 6. And so therefore it'll be 0. It doesn't count. Let's draw another card. There's a 3. I'm trying to get as close to 9 as possible. There's a 3. There's a 5. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, we got to 8. Now, if I push my luck again and went over, that would waste a card. And the point here is once this deck is run out, you can't do any more. And if you haven't got your 8 creatures by then, you're going to lose. This is where the strategy comes, the push your luck element comes in. Because you don't want to burn through cards unnecessarily, because you don't have enough to work with. So, and I'm mentioning that because I'm going to stop here. With 8, even though I didn't get 9, I got pretty close to 9. So what happens there is you take 1 damage for the difference. So I'm 8, he's 9. That's one point of difference. So that means 1 point of damage. And the way that works is I get the creature. He's my second one now. These cards go into the discard pile, and I took 1 damage. So I have to burn 1 card off my deck. Right? What if I stopped at 7 and he was 9? Okay, if I stopped at 7, I'd have to burn 2 cards from my deck. So there's the push your luck element. Next guy is this spooky looking dude. Looks brilliant. He has got a treasure chest, which means when I defeat him, I'm going to be able to go into the discard pile and draw one of these items to use. I found that they are critical to winning the game. And I haven't won the game yet. I've played it 5 times and I cannot get the 8 souls yet, which I love. I love the fact that I don't win straight away. And so this is my 6th game at the moment. All right, I'm playing Staff for 4. His health is 11, so I'm going to keep pushing my luck a little bit. I get to 2, so that 4 and 2 is 6. I reckon I can push my luck a little further. This time I've got a 4, a sword. And so my total is 10 and he's 11. So I'm going to stop there. If I did go over, if I decided to push my luck again and I went over, which you know what? I wouldn't go over with this because I could use the 1 for an exact 11. But let's just say I did go over. And then it equals a 0, that card, and you've wasted that card, and then you're better off quitting at that point. Or you can keep trying again and wasting cards if you're that bold. But I'm going to stop at 10, so I discard those to my discard pile. I burn 1 for damage because I stopped at 10 and he's worth 11. And he's telling me that there's a treasure. He's guarding a treasure chest, so I can loot the treasure chest. And what that means is you shuffle up this discard pile, take 1 random from there, and that's the item. So now we use this part of the card for the item. And it says, I've got a large backpack. I can take a weapon card from the discard pile and keep it with your items for use when needed, which is really cool. So I get to go into here again randomly. And that spear that I just pulled is going to be something I can use just in the middle of an attack whenever I want. These items can be used anytime, and you're going to need to use them. Okay, so I got this guy. I've got 3 creatures now, so let's move on a little bit quicker. Okay, here we go. It's like a skeleton warrior. He's worth 9. Let's go. 4 with a sword. Okay, what I might jump in here, I might actually use my whetstone, which says 3 damage. I'm going to put that there. 3 plus 4 is 7. He's 9, so I'll stop there. I will put those into the discard pile. I'll take the 2 damage because I was 7, he was 9. So 2 off the top of my deck. And now I've got 4 souls. Let's go again. Here we go. This is a frog cleric looking type creature. Brilliant, brilliant artwork. I might say now that the artwork here is really delightful, as you've probably seen already with the creatures. I think the designer's been very clever in being so thematic with all 3 parts of the cards. The abilities of the creatures really make sense to and match with the creature that it is. The items also really make sense. For example, you pull a large backpack and that allows you to get another weapon. And so I found that thematically, the items, the creatures, and the weapons all make sense as to what's actually happening on the card and in the game. So, okay, let's go against this frog cleric. He's worth 8. He can take 8 damage. We use a spear against him for 3. We will use another staff against him for 7. He's 8. I'm going to stop there because I'm only 1 below. Discard those. Get the frog. Take 1 damage because I was 7, he was 8. And flip over the next creature. All right, I've got 5 souls so far. This is what I mean by the thematically things really make sense. Okay, the bat creature has got an ability of flying. And it says the first melee attack deals no damage. Why? Because the bat's flying all around you. And if you're trying to get him while standing on the ground, it's not going to work. Or it's going to be difficult. So that. I know those are small things when it comes to the abilities, how they relate to the artwork and the creatures and the items. But it really makes a big difference to me in my enjoyment of these games, where the designer has really taken time to match the abilities and the mechanisms on the cards with what is actually on the card or what you're supposed to be imagining. And so that really makes sense. Let's go. I've got a fireball spell for 5. Again, it's a range attack, so it makes sense that it's a fireball spell. It also makes sense that it's quite strong. So again, this is what I mean, where thematically everything works out nicely. That's a 5. And that's a 7. Do I really want to push my luck? Maybe I will and see how I go. Well, that was a silly move because I've gone right over there. So this becomes 0. I'm going to stop there and take the 2 bits of damage. 1, 2. I'm in big trouble here because I've only got 2 cards left. And how many souls have I got? I've got 6. I need 2 more. It's not going to happen for me this time. Okay, this lizard creature is guarding a chest, so I would get an item once I capture his soul. He's worth 11. Maybe I'll take this spear that's sitting in my backpack and start off with that and go to 3 and see what happens now. And there's my last card for 6. And I only get to 9. There's no damage. There's no more cards left here for any damage to take because I need to take 2 damage. I've lost the game again for the 6th time. Okay, so that's how it goes. Okay, I went quite slowly through this, but you can see how this would easily take 3 to 6 minutes to play. You just get the monster out there. You start hammering him with flipping over cards and adding up your weapons and try and get as close to this number as possible. The items, they all add some wonderful mechanisms into the game, considering this is such a small game. The creatures are really cool. I want to show you a couple of these other creatures, especially this one. I love this one, this crazy looking Lovecraftian beast. And its ability is explodes. You are only able to land a single attack on this creature. So you're only allowed to put 1 card there, and hopefully you get as close to 5 as possible, which is why you need some good items maybe to help you with this one. But I like this because as soon as you hit it, this big bubble just explodes. And once again, thematically, that's what I'm talking about. It's thematically really, really good. We've seen some of these guys. He's really good. Ethereal. The first odd value weapon attacks, deals no damage. He looks brilliant. We've seen some of these other guys. Let's see one that we haven't seen before. I've actually probably seen most of them. We've seen the Frog Cleric. Tough skin. First range attack deals no damage because, you know, he's got tough skin. And yeah, we've got this cool looking werewolf here. He's guarding a chest. And yeah, so I think the creatures are really well designed. Thematically, they're really good. All the weapons are very clever as well. The throwing dagger can be a melee or a range attack because it's a throwing dagger. Short bow. Yeah, the mace is really cool. Great sword. And then how about some of the items like Smoke Bomb? Place all cards in the current encounter into the draw deck and shuffle. You get cards back. Smoke Bomb, again, thematically beautiful because it confuses everybody. How about the Bewitching Relic? Use the monster side of a draw weapon card to attack. So the monster's number, the monster's health ends up being your attack number. Really cool. Then you've got we've seen Smoke Bomb, we've seen the Witstone, we've seen the backpack, the scroll. What about this one? Scroll of Purge Life. Instantly capture a monster's soul when used. So this gets you a creature straight away. Boy, I could have used that in this game. The items are really good. The game works seamlessly. It's so streamlined. You can just sit at breakfast and play a couple of games of this. It's so portable in this tin. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that review. I know there's tons of reviews about this game online already, but as I said, I just wanted to give you my 2 cents worth. I think this is it's a cheap buy, and go and get yourself a copy if you like the look of this. That's Cursed.